And there, it accepted it. And then here you want to do 664. And now when you close the box, it has a feature definition assigned to it of 664. It puts it on the correct level, design existing roadway profile. So everything that should be shot like that, you're going to have to go in and manually edit it. You see there's a 300 here. I think that's a culvert shot. You'll have to dig around. There's the other one. So there's an entrance here. You'll have to do a start point and end point for the culvert. And edge of pavement, you'll have to do all this for every one of them. That's what the importance of linking codes is. You don't have to draw everything manually. It draws it for you. And I'll show you an example of that here in a minute. So once you get all your editing done and everything, and you want to create your terrain model, just go up to Field Book and go Create Terrain Model. And you see it creates a terrain model from this point. So you can click on the terrain model and go to Properties and turn on the triangles. Look at the triangles. If you go to the terrain model tab, you want to edit the terrain model. You get all your terrain editing tools. So I want to delete it. Well, I missed a step here. Okay. First thing you have to do, you have to right click. What's it here? Hold on just a second. Okay, you have to go up here to default and right click and deactivate survey processing rules. Once you do that, you're able to go in and edit the terrain model. So I want to delete that triangle. Boom. So it lets you go and delete any triangle that you feel is erroneous outside that. When you're done, you'll right click to cancel the command. And these are all the same editing tools that we had prior. They just work a little bit differently. Like I said, you have to deactivate the rules. Now, once you reactivate the rules, that triangle is going to come back that I deleted. So what you have to do, you have to create a boundary. And you just want to add a boundary, feature definition, survey. I don't know where it's at in here. I'm used to doing Open Roads Designer, so let's look here, linear terrain features. You can set it to terrain exterior if you want. That survey. Boundaries, okay, boundaries. You can set it to the boundary code that you want, but we're just going to take it to an IDOT roadway linear feature and set it to terrain exterior. And then you just pick on it, add a boundary, and accept it. And now it has a boundary around it. So once you turn on the survey editing rules, activate survey editing rules, it should hold its edits, which it did. So that's how you go in and edit the terrain model once you do it. And just to turn it back on, see the properties there. You do quick properties or your normal properties. See, I have it set to existing boundary. If you want to see the triangles all the time, just change the feature definition to existing triangles. Then your triangles are there all the time. And you can, as you edit them, you can go in and add and delete triangles, add line, flip a triangle, whatever you need to do as far as survey or terrain model editing. So now we'll jump over to the Massey Lane one, and I'm going to do a file, save settings, and then I'm just going to close this file. Okay, then I'm going to switch over to the other one I had, and I'm going to create a new drawing here. It's a new file. Let's name it as the save, then open. And it's the exact same steps. The only difference, I want you to be able to see the linking codes. Create a new field book. On the new field book, you want to do load file using text import wizard. Actually, with Massey, I could drag and drop it because it's properly coded, and I could just pick the District 6. But I want you to see the text import wizard. So there's number 1. And it is comma delimited. Back here where it's got all the header information, you can tell it to start delimited. Track this out a little bit. Start on row 5. So there. Start on row 6. It deletes all the header information out of it. You just hit next. Tell it it's space delimited. The dash is already programmed into the survey settings. So you just walk it through and then you set your stuff like that. Let's go open and go District 6 and see. Whoops. Let's cancel that. Load file using text import wizard. That's in lane number 1. And we want to open District 6 TIW file. It should be able to walk through, see that everything's checked for you. Next, point name, northern easting elevation, code's already set for you. And that's the purpose of the TIW file. So if I had drag and dropped it, a box would have popped up and asked me to accept the TIW file or to use that TIW file. So once we get here, we just hit finish. We don't want to save the TIW file because we don't want to overwrite it and we don't want to create a new one. So the survey processes, hit zoom extents, you can see all the data in there. So we have, if you look at all point data, you see all your point numbers and everything in there. If you look at all linear features, because there was linking codes, it lines up all your linking features. So if there was a big yellow triangle on the screen over here, it means you got a coding error and you have to fix it. And you can add multiple stuff or multiple field books to this. Whoops. So this one I'll just do Massey Lane. I'll pick the District 6 ASCII file, and then we'll pick number 2. So I didn't have to walk through this wizard or anything. I just started picking it because it's already set up. And you can do multiples. You can drag and drop it. Find number 3. So you're just building data on top of data. And everything's line coded, as you can see in here. Even the 604s, I think, are line coded. See everything in here. You know, if you want to see all the 296s, go back to the survey processing, hit the survey details. It'll show you all the 296s and what their codes are. If you slide over, you see you got elevation bust. You know, you can come over here and it tells you the length. You got an elevation bust on a point, you can go to that point. Oops. Go to that point, go to survey details. Oops. And hit the report, it'll give you the northern easting elevation. Well, let me look at the point feature definition for some reason. But there is a way to look at the northern easting elevation. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on it. Probably in the all point features. So go to, that's a control point, I think. 134. So we want to look at the 134s. And those are control points and stuff like that. So there's some, you have to be in the all point features to see the northern easting elevation. So if you get an elevation bus, you can adjust it in here by picking it and then just changing the elevation. And that's pretty much sums it up. And like I said, you can have multiple in here. If I go ahead and just keep importing, file, see number 4. Whoops. Number 4, 5, number 6, and number 7. That's a control point file for sure. You can select multiples and bring them all in at once. And I'll walk through and I'll process them all. Once you get all that, right click, view control, 2D, 3D. There's your 3D model, which it didn't really show a lot yet. Okay, I want to go to the field book. I want to create a train model. It's got a train model around it already. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let's rotate the view. And we want to go to the train model. Turn on properties. Okay, you got to find a place where you can pick on the train model. And go to properties. You want to turn on triangles. And you can just kind of see the 3D view in there. That's not actually set to a 3D view. So once you go in here to a train model and go to properties, there's a button next to it that says activate. Once you hit activate, make that the current train model, you can come out and right click and go view 2D, 3D, and you see now you got the 3D features in here. You see there's a big, that's where the bridges are. There's a lot of stuff going on. You should be able to see through that. So you got a lot of editing to do on the bridge areas for it to look correctly. So that is imported editing train model in OpenRoads Tools and OpenRoads and SS10. And that is all I have for you today. I will probably do the next video on how to do it in OpenRoads Designer. So thanks for hanging out with me today and learning how to process survey today in SS10. If you have any questions, email me, Jamie Shaw, or jamie.shaw@illinois.gov.